welcome to another episode of Splash TV. We're downstairs. I'm Moose and this is Dave.
Hey Moose, how are you, mate?
Good, man. How are you?
I'm good. Got chips, got Coke.
Welcome to another
well.
Thursday episode.
Look at our new venue we are at.
I know, we haven't looked in the part. We've got
Look
our
at this
shirts on.
spiffy.
Yeah.
You read that?
Don't do that,
Moose Marine. I can't do that because I've got a rugby neck.
So we're downstairs tonight in our Moose Marine showroom. We think it's a better atmosphere. We've got the lighting, we've got the cameras, and hopefully it looks a little bit better.
Oh, come on,
Please.
Paul. Come on up. Come on, Paul. Paul Moody's stealing a few chips. There he goes. Hello, Paul. Hello, Mr. Summers. How are you? I'm Dickie Nee. Nice chips. You did say chips, didn't you? Yeah.
So on tonight's episode, we're going to bring to you a few things that we've seen that's happened around the traps this week, as we always do. We've got some competitions towards the end of the show, and a little bit of, I suppose, a really interesting video that was sent to me that's got me a little scared. Now, we're not sponsored tonight, but we've got some products.
Well, we are. We're sponsored by us.
Well, yeah, it's sponsored by Moose Marine, I guess.
The chips were bought and sponsored by us.
Yeah.
The Coke by us.
So we're doing well. Please feel free to comment, and if you have any questions that you like answered during the show, send along to the message.
His brother Jeff.
We'll both be watching.
That doesn't mean he's a priest. It just means it's Jeff, who's
Now-
a brother.
Dave, every sort of week we've been doing this show recently, we wanted to bring attention to a Facebook group because a lot of this was going out to our Facebook followers.
Yeah, well, this show does have a little. It kind of does have a connection to Facebook.
Yeah.
That's how we started out. I will say that I reckon in Victoria, especially in Australia, I reckon you were one of the pioneers. You were doing a lot of
Should have bought more
Facebook.
shares in Facebook.
You were doing a lot of Facebook stuff when nobody else was.
Yeah, look, and social media is obviously here to stay. So, and there's a lot of Facebook groups now that are really attended. A lot of Facebook groups.
Amateurs.
A lot of Facebook groups that are obviously for various interest groups, and some of them are really good, some aren't, but some are really good. This one here, I'll put up here, Dave. This is the Marine Electronics Facebook page that yours truly started.
Yeah, how long ago now?
Oh, 6-7 years ago.
Yeah.
So this is a Facebook page that's just generally all about all marine electronics. It's not brand specific. You can ask any question from anything and hopefully get some answers. And it's obviously got a lot of people on it. There's about 7,000 people that are on this, and there's a lot of people who are in the industry, if not reps.
In fact, this is so not branded anyway. We do have reps, salesmen, all sorts of things on this, but they will use odd names or because they want to be fair across the board. This is purely about information and helping
For sure.
and it's worked because we haven't ended up with any huge arguments or
Yeah, we've been pretty lucky on this Facebook page. We haven't had those big wars.
the West Side Marine Electronic guys versus the East Side Marine Electronic guys. That sort of stuff goes on.
So it's a great page if you want to learn a little bit more about marine electronics and you don't want to get hounded in sales pitches. I won't.
I just realised, Anthony, we've got a live audience tonight.
We do. Hey. Tonight's episode is filmed in front of a live studio audience. I always wanted to say that.
Yay!
So get along to the Marine Electronic Facebook page and have a little look-see.
What's on it at the moment?
It's all new stuff that's come out of either the Sydney Boat Show, which we'll talk about.
Cool.
And before that was obviously the Melbourne Boat Show and Sanctuary Cove and a few things like that. And software updates. There's been a lot of big software updates from a few brands recently, and we'll talk about that later
Yeah, that'll
on.
come up. That'll come up.
So have you done anything this week, Dave? What have you been up to?
No, stayed in bed pretty much all day, every day.
Okay.
Yeah, did nothing.
Okay. No fishing reports, yeah.
Unemployed bum. No. We got a report coming up later from Sean at Karen, and we've got a report coming up from Vince, who we haven't talked to for quite a while.
That's true. Speaking of fishing, there is a fishing show coming up, Dave.
Really?
Yeah, well, it's the 4x4 and fishing, outdoor, boating, lifestyle, recreation show.
They got BMX there.
They got everything there, man. It's everything show.
Do you reckon, what's her name from BMX Bandits?
Oh, Nicole Kidman. Thank you, studio
Someone
audience.
from the studio audience says, do you reckon she'll be there?
I hope so.
Ride a BMX bike. Cool.
Saying things like, "You got your ammo, now use it."
What?
Because that's what she said.
You gotcha.
Ammo. Remember they had these little packets of flour, and that was going to stop the horrible loggers or whatever they were, the developers. So her idea with her Goose was the other guy, because he was on the Mongoose BMX.
Cool.
Shout out to Gary Brooks, by the way. He probably knows all these people by name, being in the BMX industry. Yeah, and they got together at the very end, and they had bags of flour with all the other kids in the 80s, and her big permy hair, and that was how they stopped the
Yeah, cool.
logging.
That Vince from Home and Away was
So,
there.
$444 million went to the Great Barrier Reef Foundation. We reckon it could have been done with a couple of bags of sand and flour and kids on
I didn't
BMXs.
understand that. There was 6 guys got $500,000 or something.
No, $500 million.
$500
Yeah.
6 guys.
Yeah, well, you know how I feel about politics on this show.
Yeah, we won't go there. We won't go there. In fact, did you know that there are no black or white hats? That's the new conspiracy thing.
What are you talking about?
There's just them and us.
Who?
Doesn't matter. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
It's finished, mate. That's
But yeah,
all I
hey.
need to know.
What I was getting to before was that there is the 4x4 and fishing, boating,
Oh, cool. Where is it?
outdoor
Yep.
expo. I think-
$35 rod.
Yeah, I know, right?
Brad's on this somewhere.
No, we're on this.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, from a few years ago. So this 4x4 and fishing show is coming up next week. It starts Friday, goes Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Moose Marine will be exhibiting there.
That's you. Caution, $35 rod.
That's right. JV Marine will be there, and a couple other companies in the boating industry will be there.
Yeah, Paulie Worsling's going to be down there. Do you want to talk? I'll take it on stage.
I have no idea.
Yeah, well, he's down there. So,
Have you?
yeah, I haven't seen that he's got a stand there. I haven't seen
I don't think
Tackle
he does.
World has a stand.
No.
So, yeah, that's, yeah.
I haven't seen, but you'll be there with Double Z Tackle.
Yep.
Um,
My mate Jerry.
I'll be across the road at the Moose Marine with we'll have one of the Genoes there and some other products. We're going to have Torpedo. We're going to have Lone Star. We're going to have Elderwood speakers, which I'll talk about later, and a bunch of other stuff, I suppose. So anyway, tickets start from like $20. It's pretty cheap. It's a good day out because we've got monster trucks and things
Actually,
like that.
there was a thing on the radio tonight. You can do some show special where you get a train ticket. So you go straight to the showgrounds.
Oh, of course. There's a train station
Yeah,
there.
and then you get the courtesy bus as well. So if you, I don't know how you do it, but you get some ticket, and it's an all-in-all ticket.
So-
Train, bus, and get you to the door.
It's worthwhile, really. Like, it's a cheap day out for a lot of fun. I think so.
Yeah.
Um.
Kids on the train, great fun.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
When was the last time you took a train? What colour was the train?
No, silver.
Met card or Mikey?
Oh, no, I used a Mikey. Yeah, I went into the city for White Night.
Oh yeah, that's pretty
that
good.
was,
One,
that was stupid. No, it was terrible. There was nothing there. We wandered around, there was nothing there.
What day did you go in? Was it actual? Was it
Right in the middle of it, yeah.
Really?
And everyone that I went with said how good it was the year before. There was basically nothing there, but White Night,
Jason and I went to White Night in Ballarat
that was supposed to be
or
excellent.
Bendigo, whichever. So, and that was unbelievable.
Yeah.
I should actually get some pictures up. If you've ever been to Ballarat, you know it's obviously got all the old buildings. Imagine that coming to life. But it wasn't just that. That was cool. Like that was cool. The nighttime projection stuff. But what was cool was that they had all these galleries and art exhibitions open just all around the place, all free, and you just walk amongst it all. It was grouse. How did we get onto White Night?
I don't know, back to reality.
So,
where were we?
I like.
4x4.
Yeah, so get along to the 4x4 show. We'll be there.
Come along,
We'll
buy a
have some-
boat from 38 South, fit it out at Moose Marine, and
Yeah.
then come over and buy some fishing gear from me. All in one little area. Done.
And then
Easy,
maybe after that you can go, see a monster truck.
if you have to.
But buy all that other stuff first. This week, Dave,
Yeah.
speaking of funny things emailed to us, someone sent me a video. So everyone knows that
People send me a lot of videos, but I can't put them on here.
there's a little, in our logo, it's a moose on our, it's a moose.
Oh,
It's
the
a-
moose! Yeah,
In a little nautical wheel, right?
yeah, this is, yeah.
And I've never seen a moose in my life.
But you went to Canada.
No, well, walked to Canada, walked to Niagara. There's no moose.
Oh, you're staying in the States.
Yeah, so we were staying in Niagara as a town, right? It's on the border. of-
Really?
Yeah, Niagara Falls.
Did you go over in a barrel?
No, but I made some cool stuff there. So the border between America and Canada there is a bridge, and we didn't want to drive across for various reasons, so we decided to walk. And on the other side, on the Canadian side, it's all theme parks and weird, quirky roadside attractions and museums and casinos and blah blah blah. So we walked into Canada and then walked back, and
You didn't see moose instantly.
no, but
As soon as you got there, there's moose everywhere.
yeah, people saying
Is it mooses?
no idea.
Or is it mouse, if there's more than one?
Comment if you know what the plural of moose is.
What's a gaggle of mooses?
Point being, I did see a moose head in some other place, I can't remember where, And yeah, it was pretty big. Like I've seen a deer, and I've seen a what's the one that they have in Christmas? Reindeer, but I've never seen a moose. So I had no real
Have a
good
look
concept.
at this moose, mate.
Anyway, so yeah, this was sent to us, and check this out. So if I go down and just
This isn't a moose.
well, this was filmed
It's
in
a mooster.
This was filmed in Alaska.
Sure it's not Photoshop.
Don't know. It's a big moose.
But yeah, look at the size of it. Walking on this medium strip, and then you'll see the car. I don't know if you may have seen the car just before. Well, not that one, but the first one.
Yeah, I'm not sure now, Paul, because he seems to be doing the same 3 steps over and over again. A big boy, though, whatever he is.
I mean, I know they get big. Well, here we go. I wanted to see it repeat. So the car on the left is like it's like an SUV of some description. Now, admittedly, he's up a little bit because he's on like this median strip stuff. So add a little bit there. But still, that's pretty big, right? Bloody hell.
Where's Jed Florence?
I've lost words there.
Jed, shoot that.
So thanks for whoever sent that in to me. That was really cool. But so there you go.
So that's what you can do. Send your videos in, and they can be put up on Splash TV.
Yeah, well, you can get
Awesomeness.
30 seconds of fame that maybe a dozen people might see.
Yeah.
But it's the quality, not quantity. New viewers are special. Dave, so with the 4x4 show coming up, we can't lose track, and because we did want to talk about the boat shows that have happened as well. So Sydney boat show just finished.
Yeah, so you did a fly in, fly out.
Yeah, I did. So the Sydney boat show
Left me at home.
for less than a day. The Sydney Boat Show is the largest boat show in Australia, and it is amazing. If you've ever been, you know what we're talking about. It dwarfs anything else we have. It's held at Darling Harbour. It's on water, and it's inside an exhibition hall on 2 levels, and it's just full of everything. It's unbelievable.
I heard there was a beautiful boat there, a 1095 Juno.
There is, and we're going to actually have a video on that next week.
Cool.
But I've pinched some videos from Fishing Monthly magazine.
Mm-hmm.
So I hope they don't mind. Didn't ask permission, but we get on okay.
Who's Fishing Monthly?
Don't say that when I've just said we get on okay. Now they're going to think I'm lying.
No, but
Well,
you
I am
know
lying,
everybody.
but-
So, yeah, just
Oh, I've got no idea. Never met him before. His name's something Morgan. Steve Morgan. Anyway,
Fishing Monthly, everybody should buy it. It's one of the most wonderful magazines. I'm actually not being sarcastic. I buy it, so it's cool.
So one of the cool things I wanted to show is the 2 extremes in engines. Because last week we spoke about diesel outboards.
Yeah.
Right. This week I wanted to show you the most powerful outboard you can buy, next to probably one of the smallest outboards you can buy. So the first one we'll show you is the new Torqeedo electric outboard. Check this one out.
G'day guys, Steve Morgan here, Fishing Monthly Magazine's at the 2018 Sydney International Boat Show. We're looking for interesting things, and I've come across something real interesting on the power equipment stand. Got Jason Hodder here. These guys do Torqeedo motors in Australia, electric motors that are getting bigger and bigger. And check out this one, it is a dead set weapon. Around 20 horsepower, it's called the Cruise 10. Jace, tell us about how it works.
Well, like all of our Torqeedo motors we've got here on display, they run on lithium battery power. This particular one being 10 kilowatt, runs 4 24-volt batteries in series in parallel to create the 48 volts needed to run it at full power. It's very lightweight. The motor itself weighs about 48 kilos. As with all Torqeedo, very quiet, very safe, no fuel, no servicing, and yeah, this is the first time we've had it on display, so we're pretty excited to show it.
Now, they are a good-looking Torqeedo. As far as Torqeedos go, it's one of the best ones we've seen. And look, the story I love about these motors are the guys at Sanctuary Cove are saying the security guys have been using them. They put thousands and thousands of hours on them, and it actually saves them money. These motors aren't cheap to buy. It's around 25 grand for the lithium batteries and the motor itself, but if you use them a lot, they pay for themselves in no time. Tell us that story.
Oh, absolutely. Well, Sanctuary Cove now have been running on their patrol boats up there, the security boats, for about 7 years now. They previously reported they had a fuel cost per boat of about $60 per day. They now say that that cost is down, estimated to about $2.50 per day to run these boats. So from when they've set them up, within the first 12 months they've paid their way, and they're just the savings just going and on from them. And those motors up there have done over 10,000 hours now and are still going. So it's been a great result.
That's testament to the quality of these European-built motors. What I want to do is I want to see one of these go to a Bass Electric Series event and really tear the field up. So, Jason, thanks for showing us through that. This is going to be on display at the Sydney Boat Show all weekend.
Yes, thank you very much.
G'day guys, Steve Morgan here from Fishing Monthly Magazines at the 2018 Sydney International Boat Show. Got James here from Luxury Marine Performance with the sexiest motor at the show, isn't it? This is the 7 range of outboards. Tell us about them.
Steve, this is the first time these 7 marine outboards have been at an Australian boat show, so really excited about that. We had some great feedback from the punters yesterday. Here on display, we've got the 577 horsepower outboard from 7 Marine, and just behind us, we've got the 627 horsepower outboard, and the third option in the range from 7 Marine is a 527 horsepower outboard.
Now, these motors, they look great on the outside. They're slick cows, but what's going on under the hood?
So a lot of the punters yesterday were asking us what's actually underneath the hood. So we've got a General Motors LS engine. It's a 6.2 litre V8 supercharged outboard. We run a ZF transmission, so for all the rev heads out there, we run a ZF transmission. We run a ZF control box with a wet disc clutch, so we've got a really nice interchange between gears, really nice and soft. We spin generally a 4 and 5 blade stainless steel propeller from Herring propellers in the USA. We've got a single propeller option and a twin propeller option, so lots of ways you can package the engines up, but yeah, that's the gist of it.
Now, the question, of course, that all the other punters are going to ask is, how much is one of those going to cost me on the back of a boat? So, say you've got a boat, you want to do a fit out with one of these and it's going to fit your boat, what sort of money am I going to need?
Yeah, so our 527 packaged up and fitted, we're looking at 150 grand.
There you go. So if you've got a lazy 150 around, come down, see the guys here at the Sydney Boat Show. These things have definitely got the bling.
So yeah, that's the two extremes from the Sydney Boat Show, the Torqeedo cruise motors and those humongous 7 Marine American outboards. So Dave just asked me before, you might have heard in the video, we weren't watching it because we can't hear it. The 7 Marine outboards are a GM block engine supercharged LSA engine, and it's 627 horsepower, 577 horsepower, or 527 horsepower.
Like 2 of them on the back of the Evo.
Why not? Just like one now. I don't know if they mentioned the price in that. Did they mention did anyone hear if they mentioned the price? Around $100,000.
Oh, I'm dreaming.
Yeah, I know, right? So that's before you buy. That's before install and all that. Sort
Paul's
of stuff.
doing the figures.
So can it be done? Can it be done? How many can I have?
Can it be done?
But of course, if you got plenty of cash and you want a big American center console and you want to go fast, then why not? Hey.
And what the Torqeedo was, what rating?
About 20 horsepower, but like we were saying the other day, the electric doesn't translate exactly into horsepower the same as a petrol would. So they equivalent it to 20 horsepower to give it some kind of relevance, but it's different. So next week, Dave, at the 4x4 in Fishing and Outdoor Leisure Boating Expo, I think that's what it's called.
Because Thursday about this time we'll have finished setting up.
We would, so we'll do a video live. Here we go, live next week from the Footscray Motor Inn. Footscray. You'll see us truly there.
Get down at Maribyrnong.
I think Jason will be there too, and we'll give you a preview of what's going to be going on at the 4x4 Fishing, Boating, Lifestyle and Outdoor Expo.
Yeah, we can take some video while we're setting up. Ask the
For sure.
store holders if they don't mind, and that can be our video backing for next week.
Now,
We'll
there's
give them an idea of what's coming up.
I've got here is Dave. Next we want to talk to a little bit about his V-tackle. So that's Vince. Do you want to get him on the telephone?
Yeah, whether he answers or not, because I told him 7:40, and I don't know if he's a man that's a stickler for the time.
What time is it?
7:22.
Close enough. So Vince from V-tackle is based up near Tullamarine. Tullamarine? I think that's right. Or Werribee Way. Northern suburbs of Melbourne. He usually gives us a good fishing report of what's happening up that end of the bay and inland.
Vince, you're right to do a bit of a tackle talk
we'll just find out in a
and
second.
a fishing report. All right, 541. You'll be on. Hang on.
G'day Vince, how you doing?
Okay, Vince.
Fresh fresh cooter heads.
They're actually fresh cooter. They're nice and bloody. So we decided we'd use them like that rather than wasting them. So they've turned out quite nice, and we've had a fair bit of comment on them straight away on the products now.
Whoa. Hey Vince, we just got a little screenshot here up of your website, and just want to tell us a little bit about what you can get off your website.
Well, pretty much on the website, there's all the tackle that's available in the shop, and we've also got all our bait. It's actually all on the website now available. Basically, prices, photos, everything is on the website, plus the bait and all the new tackle and stuff like that. Everything that's in the shop is on the website.
So if someone wanted to like pre-order a bunch of a decent bait and have it stocked up ready for the season, they can jump online, place an order for a decent chunk of bait.
Yeah, well, the way it works is they go online, they have a look what they want, they put an order, and then the order's actually I get an invoice from the website, then I get in touch with them and organise the delivery and the negotiation, and it's all paid COD when I deliver the product. So it's not as if you're buying a product that you don't see. It actually gets delivered to you, you have a look at it, and you pay for it.
Well, Vince, people like fishing clubs, should they be thinking about talking to you?
Well, I am approaching quite a few at the moment. I've got 3 or 4 that I'm sort of talking to at the moment, and if they're interested, yes, by all means, I'm more than happy to come down and discuss it and set up a deal with them. Not a problem at all.
I think that'd be really good. Well, Vince, we'll definitely get in touch with you next week, mate, and see how you go, and we'll get in touch and see how the new bait's gonna how it's gonna hold up for the season, I reckon.
Yeah, and I like the look of those worms for people that are going to be heading down the Tambo for spring.
Well,
so.
that's the other new product. We've got cured sandworms that are just coming in stock, and I'm actually distributing them. I've got them in the shop, and I'm actually distributing them right up the coast,
Beautiful.
on the western side of Victoria. So there'll be quite a few places where they'll be popping their heads up in the next 6 months.
Very good, mate. Well, have a good one. Thanks very much for taking the early call, dude.
No worries.
I'll see you later, dude. Take care.
Okay, bye.
So sorry, guys. It seemed that the sound faded out for some reason at the beginning, but came back in later on. Did you press something or change anything? Or
I just had a little look, you see, but it looked all okay when I was looking at it. So I'm not sure why it stops for a little while and came back. So
that's pretty cool events. Like if the clubs have got some big freezers, just get your season's worth.
Yeah. If you got 30 members and out of 30, 20 of them are pretty seasoned snapper anglers, why wouldn't you band together and just get a big freezer?
How much easier would it be that wherever the freezer is, the club rooms or something, you get in, open the freezer yourself at 2 o'clock in the morning, grab what you need. You're not thinking about where you're going to be where you're going to be getting your bait from.
So
how would the club's got a month's worth.
So would you write it down? Say, look, Joe Blogg's taken 2 bags, and then you get a bill, or do you have a cash box?
I'm not up on that, but it'd have to be an honor system of some sort. Yeah.
But still, if you band it together as a club, your buying power is going to be brilliant, and you'll be able to buy good bait and keep it at your club, which brings people back to the clubhouse. It just regenerates that whole club feeling. I know we go on about it when we do talk nights, the whole club mentality and getting people to actually still go.
Well, you look at a club like Mitcham, with the buying power they've got, all they need is the club. I think there's 2 guys in the club have got keys. You know, there's different ways you could do it. But, well, you could get your bait the night before. So you've missed it. You've come home from work. You haven't got time to get to the tackle shop.
Yeah.
You shoot down to the club rooms. You grab your bait. You go fishing the next day.
Yeah, absolutely. And it gets people wanting to join clubs because you go, okay, well, why do I want to join this club? Because they do cheap bait. Well, whatever reason you join doesn't matter as long as you're joining.
And all this bait, all these baits bought fresh and then packed in the factory.
Yeah, it's not dodgy bait. It's really good stuff. So yeah, hats up. Go check out V Tackle, Vince at V Tackle. You can't miss him. He's all over Facebook and he's all over the internet. And tell him Dave and Moose says hi. Hey Dave, we have another thing to do with bait. Have you seen this one?
No.
It's our. So you're saying before that you don't reckon you reckon it would be too much considered a canon, essentially? Maybe these are homemade ones. Maybe these are just like people making their own.
Well, it's a bit like the old orange gun, isn't it?
Yeah. This is hairspray and then the ignite it.
Yeah, I think this is just CO2 compressed air. So you fire it out, that's the lead,
Yeah.
and it defrosts, dissolves in the water, and the bait's on it. Amazing for shark fishing.
This guy gets down to his little valve,
Fills it up.
fires away. So they're getting, how far they set again? About 300 meters.
Yeah, you can buy them.
You can buy them.
You want to do a lot of fishing, wouldn't you?
But if you're fishing, if you're fishing, surf fishing a lot, and you're trying to get that quite far out, well, that's not bad.
Yeah, it's, I don't know. The kids, they'd find it in the garage and start shooting grapefruit over the back fence.
Hey, Dave, you got a Lowrance?
Yeah.
So all those out there who have a Lowrance, if you have a HDS Gen 3, a HDS Carbon, or an Elite TI, so like, you know,
I saw the 3D imaging on a carbon
yep,
compared to a 3. I
Big
need a
difference.
carbon.
that
It's
big,
about a billion times better. I need a carbon.
that Solamax screen is pretty good. So they've released a new software update, Dave. We've got sound again. A new software update, and it seems like every 6 weeks or less, Lowrance is releasing a new software.
Well, a couple of different companies do it different way. Garmin tends to a 3-year sort of turnover with very little amount of software updates. Lowrance is on the hop all the time. Lots of software updates. Different people, different things.
There's no right or
What you
wrong.
like.
As long as
No
you do
right,
it.
no wrong. It's what people want.
So in this, if we go down to our Lowrance bit, put on another microphone. Hopefully everyone can hear us now. That's much better. So anyway, as we're saying, so Lowrance has a software update, and everything we just said then was irrelevant, so we're going to start again. So the new software update allows for a couple of really cool features. The big one being inside Genesis Live mapping. This is very much like the Humminbird Auto Chart and the Garmin
Quick Draw.
Quick Draw. Thank you. Nice one.
And I was saying it's about time because they've been lacking with this.
Yeah.
And they needed to catch up.
Yeah, so in the past it's always been available, but you needed to have an active subscription on your map card. That cost $99 a year. and there was a bit of mucking about. It was all just too hard.
Well, you couldn't go out, draw it, and then reverse come back and look at it all.
Oh,
and,
not without so much headache.
with quick draw, you could. What I was saying is, actually, we'll bring it up a little bit later. Gwaine Blake and Aaron Hapgood have got to talk tomorrow night. We'll lead into that later. But I was talking about Gwaine. Now, what Gwaine did with his quick draw, and now we'll be able to do with this, is around Cape Shank and all the way through Flinders and that, he would actually spend hours and hours drawing that, and he would find bommies that nobody else knew about, and he's getting 10 kingfish to other guys 1 kingfish because he's able to work the structure, not the fish.
Yeah, and that's exactly it. Your mapping might be completely blank for a particular area because of the way they do their sonar
There's
mapping.
a contour line from 500 metres to 800. Well,
So
there's a lot.
Well, they just assume. So one of the big things that Navionics did that's good and bad was they had interpretive mapping. What that meant was they would send out a survey vessel, or they would take the survey vessel charts from 2003 or whenever the last time the Navy did them, and they'll say, okay, cool, there's a contour here, and that's 100 metres. And then there's another one down here, that's 200 metres. Well, they'll go, okay, well, between those two must be 150. And then they'd just draw one. And that created quite really groovy looking contours. It made the maps look detailed.
But in the middle of that sandy bottom, they don't know that there's this 10-metre boulder that fish are sitting on.
Oh, yeah, but even that's still a guesstimate. Like, they've still just guessed that that's what the bottom looks like. The bottom could have a ridge, it could have a canyon.
My father actually drank with a fella at the Narooma Golf Course every year. They were mates, who was a Navy diver who did all that
that's cool.
for Montague Island and that.
Cool.
Yeah, and did that. Yeah, you dive and they write things
and certainly around areas like Bermagui, Montague, Narooma, all the way down to Green Cape, and then over the other side towards Portland, where you're looking for that sort of edge to get an inquest into what's going to be fishing down there. Your mapping is really important, and that's offshore. Imagine what it's going to be like inshore, where
it's becoming bigger and bigger for us and our boat ramps from Torquay to Cape Lip Trap that we can reach. What we can find offshore now, being able to run our own maps, find bommies, contours, small drop-offs, slower drop-offs, steep drop-offs. It just opens Bass Strait up.
So, of course,
just opens it.
Just because I was blanking about before, but these are available on Lowrance HDS Gen 3s, HDS Carbons, and Elite TI. So pretty much the three of the most recent.
On an
Lowrance
Elite
series.
TI, very simple, inexpensive.
Yeah. So there's a few other things that this software update brings. One of them is Bluetooth functionality to pair with your phone. So with now, you can connect your phone to your Lowrance, and you can see your text messages and voice calls. So you can see if someone's ringing you, or you can see if they've sent you a text. I don't know if it allows you to text back yet. I haven't worked that out yet.
Touch it, it rings your phone.
Or whether you could type or whatever. Because the idea obviously is that you can put your phone somewhere safe. See, I reckon that's grounds for kayaks.
Yeah, yep.
So if you've got a kayak, you can put your phone somewhere nice and safe and waterproof, and still have an idea if someone's rung you or called you, or someone sent you a text message. How's the fishing going? Look at this. Not yet. 4 keepers in life world, just looking for the 5th. Oh yeah, radio.
Chris is rung. Jacob's rung. Yeah, good on you.
Mr. Call. Who's he Mr. Call from? Who's Aaron? Received from Lucas
and
from Eli.
Connection to motors as well.
Yes, the other thing is now Lowrance has always been able, for very recent I should say, connect to Mercury, because Navico and Mercury work quite closely together. Cool. And then they recently introduced Yamaha and Suzuki. So in this update, they've increased what you can do with the Yamaha stuff. They've now included a lot of the engine data warnings and some of the more control functions and troll functions. And they've added support now for Evinrude E-Tech G2. So the new Evinrude, and you can do all kinds of stuff with throttle control, steering, because the larger G2s have electronic steering.
Yep.
So there's a lot of cool stuff you can do there too. So yeah, so this is a fairly big update. It's free. We'll put the link up later on where you can go download it. We're going to do Dave's soon. Software
we'll do a
update
video of
his.
that, and we'll update it.
Yep. And have a play with what's new. Maybe connect the phone up and whatnot. So if you've got a Lowrance HDS Gen 3 Carbon Elite TI, go and download the update. It's on our Facebook page, it's on the Marine Electronics page, and you can follow the links. Or if you don't know how to do it, feel free to bring it in here to Moose Marine, and we'll do it for you. So that's pretty cool. I thought that was
very cool. So leading into that, because I did mention Aaron and Gwaine.
Yep.
They've got a talk tomorrow night in North Melbourne. I'm trying to find it on the moment on Facebook. I can't find it. But I reckon if you went to the Salt Guide page,
on Facebook,
Aaron's, either Aaron's page, Gwaine's page, definitely the Salt Guide page, which is their company, the two of them together. This talk tomorrow night is like a bonanza talk.
What's it about?
It's full. It's Gwaine from one side of the bay that way, and Aaron from one side of the bay that way. It's whiting, squid, gummies, offshore fishing, early snapper fishing around the Torquay area. Yep. They're just going to give a very, very wide range. It's going to be a really good talk. I think it's $20, which is next to nothing these days. Look it up. These two guys together, there's a lot of knowledge there.
Very much. And if you've ever been to one of Gwaine's talk or one of Aaron's talk and you've paid a few bucks to see it, you know you get your money's worth when you hear these guys speak.
You hear about, I like that Gwaine especially, Gwaine's, they talk about why they know what they know.
Yeah.
So they explain how they grew up, commercial boats, charter boats, crab boats, crayfish. They've lived on the water, and it's actually knowledge that they've gained through experience.
Yeah.
And I find that really, really cool that they give that explanation. So jump on it and look for that. I'm hoping that you and me will go down there tomorrow night.
Yeah, I'm planning to, definitely.
Aaron invited us to come down. He wants a laugh. So
we'll give him a laugh.
All right, while you have a chat about what you're doing, I'm going to ring Sean from Carrum and see if we can hold of Sean.
Yeah, no worries. Well, I wanted to talk a little bit about a company called Elderwood and the speakers that they create. You may have seen here, I've got these little brochures that say handcrafted sound. And this is from a company called Elderwood. If I bring up the little screen. Elderwood is a new speaker company based out of Compton in Victoria, handmade. These are, I am not lying, one of the best sounding speakers ever, let alone in its physical size. So Dave's holding up there. You can see in the little video too.
That's how small they are.
They're a 70mm cube speaker and only 20 watts. And they're 100% waterproof. You can see this one's been in a bucket of salt water.
I hope that that's all the elements.
That's it. Yeah, that's all it needs. What you see is a finished product. It's made out of a very, very beautiful, highly acoustic, what do they call them? Quality Russian birch wood. And then there's a whole bunch of really high-tech stuff that I'm not really allowed to talk about that goes inside of them to make it one of the best quality sounds ever. And we're going to have, I can talk to you forever about this. It's like any speakers, you can't tell how good they are. So, I'll just turn this one down so you don't. So, we're going to have them on display at the 4x4 at Fishing Show. Come along and listen to yourself. These are one of the best quality speakers I reckon you're ever going to see. Moose Marine is extremely proud to be the marine retailer for them, and we want to see people really enjoying their sound come over play. But check this out. Look at this. You can just dunk it in water. No worries. It's fine.
Oh, so Sean, I'll put John in one second.
Salt and water environment, it's going to be good. That's Elderwood speakers. Check them out. We'll have a link to our Facebook page, and come see them at the 4x4 show. But we've got Sean now from...
You got a picture of Sean? Where's Shawnee? Okay.
Gotta get a microphone happening here. You there, Shawnee?
Yep, how are we guys? How's everyone going?
Yeah, good dude. What you got for us?
The boating action's been a little bit quiet with the horrible winds we've been persisting with. But the land-based action has been not too bad. Started just in the Patterson River. The salmon and mullet have been on the bite nearly every evening for the last month now. For the salmon, best baits have been chicken breast fillet and pilchard fillet. For the mullet, chicken breast fillet or a homemade concoction of dough. Other than that, we have been seeing an exceptional garfish season in the last 3 to 5 weeks.
Okay, something different.
Yeah, something different. So most of the piers, Mornington, Frankston, Seaford, Mordialloc, Beaumaris, Black Rock, even the small pier at Sandringham, some exceptional sized garfish coming in those what I would call a sea run gar with the full red bill.
Yeah.
And garfish up to 45 centimetres and ones you can hardly wrap your hands around.
Wow.
Yeah, so a few friends and I hit one of the piers recently and got 160 garfish in 2 hours between 4 of us. So
no, you got a good feed. You got a few. I take it you got a few vac packed down for the season, mate.
Certainly do. Certainly have quite a few Cryovac packets now of the smaller gars put aside for snapper baits. And as I said, the salmon in the Patterson River have been every afternoon from about 3:30, 4 o'clock onwards have been showing up. So I have quite a few packs of them Cryovac down and some mullet to put into the mix. So.
Well, that's exactly what it sounds like, mate. While this wind's blowing, people should be getting out and filling their, getting a few fish away as fresh, beautiful bait for the snapper that are only weeks away from coming up, mate.
Yeah, exactly right. We're very close to the season starting or kicking off now. I think we just need for those winds to die down a bit. So as usual, Sean, the first fish will come from land based because they'll be the blokes that are fishing. So. Yeah, well, we were just looking through our photos a couple of weeks ago, and in our photos, we were surprised to see that our first fish was August 5th last year.
Yep.
And that was a fish which was a nice bright colour with the bright blue spots, the bright blue fins, and it was obviously a new fish. So, and we actually, by the photos, we got 5 that night. So. But,
and they were land-based, Sean?
Yeah, that was land-based, and Brighton Breakwall. So, yeah, I'm not scared about giving away locations. So.
Yep. I must catch up with John the hairdresser. He's always down there too, so he'd know what's going on.
Yes.
Sean, just from Yes I Do Fish Like a Girl, she says she's going to be down fishing Paddo this Saturday. Can you recommend anywhere where she should go and try?
As I said, I've spoken to Jess a couple of times over the last week and a half. That general area has been from the halfway between the 3rd and the 4th boat ramp, all the way down to the corner just before the first floodgate.
Oh, perfect. Down at the rotunda on the corner.
Yes, yep, that's the one.
Perfect
and
spot.
Probably from that rotunda to the corner has probably been one of the standout areas. So
that's the perfect spot for Jess if she's got a few going down there. She can light the barbecue and perfect bank fishing all the way down there.
Yeah, unfortunately the barbecue has been decommissioned. They're in the process of building a brand new barbecue right next to the end of Ramp 4.
Okay.
The barbecue is in. The electricals are in, and we're just waiting for it to get a roof on and be hooked up, ready to go.
Okay, cool.
So no new updates on timeline for the parking of the new level crossing removal authorities shamble down there?
Last update, they were saying that they will possibly be finished a little bit early or ahead of schedule, and most likely late September.
Okay, that's not too bad.
Which
that's before the
how much
the
difficulty?
October, so I believe they're a couple of weeks ahead of schedule. So
how much trouble is there going to be in trying to get under the bridge? September, October, November.
Yes, right. All the pylons are in, and the main, most of the main concrete beams are up. So they're definitely moving ahead at a rate of knots now.
Oh, you're hoping the whole thing, like the river, will be clear by October?
Well, I'm not 100% sure on that, but they're saying that they should be out of the car park by late September. Whether that means they're finished or not, I'm not 100% sure.
I reckon, we're just everyone's going to have to have a little bit of patience, more patience than normal this year, and we're just going to have to work together. But it'll be cool.
Exactly right, and obviously the staff at Launching Way will be doing their best to make everything flow appropriately and as quick as we can. So. And
you always catch more flies with sugar than you do with vinegar. So treat these guys. They are working long hours down there. Treat the guys with respect. Hey, what's going on in the shop? Any specials, mate?
We've still got quite a few lures on our back wall, just above cost price. So it's basically cost plus GST, and that ranges anywhere from the Halcos right through the Tassie Devils. There's a few RMGs left, some bombers. All the soft plastics are on special at around $8 for the atomic plastics.
Cool. Well, people need to get down there and get rid of that stock. Okay.
Thanks very much, Sean. Have a good weekend, dude.
Thanks, guys. Take care and all the best.
All right, Shawnee. Teach you, mate.
See ya.
See you, mate. Bye.
Well, that's good news about the ramp. I reckon if they can clear that up, we should.
Yeah, because how many car parks are you losing with them working in there?
50.
It's a lot.
So it is a lot. But the thing that I was saying the other day is that most of the car parks they're taking up are actually just car parks. They're not.
It's that in that corner where it's all. Yeah, I know what you mean.
So there was a big hoo-ha about them taking up all this space, and I was like, well, they're not really.
Do they overflow trailers into there if they have to?
No, because it's just cars. And okay, a lot of people go down with just cars, and they will be pretty pissed off. And I guess one of the problems is a lot of those people may inadvertently take up boat and trailer spots, which would be an issue.
I'm worried about because at the moment when you go under the bridge, everybody goes in and out under one spot.
Yeah, it's tight.
And if that happens, like you've seen how many boats are going out at 4 o'clock in the morning.
If there's a column of boats coming in one direction, you might have the morning crowd coming back. If you're heading out,
that 11 o'clock, the lunchtime fishermen and those coming in.
You could be sitting and waiting for 45. Who knows? A long time.
Yeah.
And then someone will get impatient and go under.
Well, then what? Because you were going to talk about a bit later the rampage thing, the
government's missing millions.
Well,
went to the Great Barrier Reef.
Yeah. So, but all they're asking really is an upgrade of ramps and maybe some more ramps with the money that we supply. But if Carrum wasn't running well, you'd really want them out there dredging Frankston, so that they can overflow to Frankston.
Yeah, that's it. Like I don't think a lot of money does go to Carrum, and that's fine. It's the biggest boat ramp in Victoria, and it takes a lot of the population goes down that way from the eastern seaboard. But certainly we need to look at what we can do to improve these other ramps to take pressure off that one and to sort of expand on, like Frankston.
People are terrified of Frankston because every now and again
punched in the face and.
But every now and again, you hit the sandbar going out.
Yeah,
but I mean, Mick used to always use it, and some of the top gun fishermen that don't want to be seen at Carrum use Frankston,
especially for squid, because you only have to go 30 metres and you're on some great squid ground. But there's the other ramp at Frankston too. There's two. There's the seabound one, and there's
Anthony's Nose.
That's right. And
what's Anthony's Nose?
Well, it's like, yeah, that's right.
It's Anthony's Nose.
So like, that's why it's on their face. There it is. So yeah, if you could do something about these, and that's what I reckon is. I think most of the boat ramps up until relatively recently were all seaward. They're all launching into the bay, and they cop it big time with the weather. So you could do a couple of things. You could keep upgrading the ramps, and cool, upgrade, but it will just eventually get.
You put another 3 ramps in the Yarra.
Well, there is one going in the Maribyrnong.
Yeah,
I heard
seen that.
That's pretty cool.
Yep, they're pretty proud of that.
Yeah, which is. If you live on that side of town, I would go launch.
Wouldn't you love to have one on the Yarra on our side of the river?
Yeah, if you could.
You don't have to cross the West Part.
If you could get one.
Port Melbourne side somewhere?
Well, you could do it on Fisherman's Bend.
Fisherman's Bend.
Heaps of real estate out there. They're not going to lose any prime real estate. You're not doing it in South Yarra, where the ramp would cost you $3 million in land value.
No, put it under Parks and Gardens, raise some money, make it pretty, put some barbecues in there.
But just like what St Kilda did, where St Kilda was a swamp and they filled it in a little bit and then they dredged it to make the marina, but they got the rock wall. You now have a really big boat ramp facility and marina and everything in what essentially is reclaimed land. So I don't see why we can't do the same thing down at Black Rock, North Road. Well, then you hit basically Carrum, so that's that. But why don't you do something in these areas where we can have a protected boat ramp? You might make some more of an infrastructure down the area for restaurants and things like that.
You've already got North Brighton.
That's North Road?
North Road.
Yeah.
But it's hopeless because there's no infrastructure on it.
That's right.
So you've already got the boat ramp. It's deep water. Half the work's done for you.
And you got the car parking.
Yeah, half the work's done for you.
Yeah, the car parking there is huge. The problem is they close it at 6 o'clock at night and they don't open until 6 in the morning.
Yeah, and when you launch your boat, you hit rocks.
Yeah,
because there's nowhere to tie up. There's
die.
not an idea of where you go.
And the jetty, which was a rickety wooden jetty, I think it's been rebuilt, but one decent storm.
And I don't know if you knew Black Rock last year, basically anything over 4.5 metres, it almost closed. It was so shallow.
Really?
You couldn't launch at low tide.
Well, this is like Bow Morris gets a private ramp, but one of their ramps is effectively useless half the day because it's so shallow. You're talking inches of water.
Yeah, we'll talk Half Moon Bay. So if they're not heading to St Kilda, they're heading to Half Moon Bay, and it was completely useless last year.
And let's be honest,
for a week while that low tide sits around that 6-7 o'clock in the morning.
And then we might be a bit eastern suburb centric here because we seem to be focusing, but admittedly that's where most people are. Over in the western suburbs,
that could be one at Point Cook.
The problem with western suburbs, not really a problem. They actually got it pretty good over there. You got Williamstown,
pretty big. Williamstown's grouse.
Yeah, Williamstown's good because it's very safe to launch at. I think car parking could probably do with an upgrade, but yeah, you got Williamstown, Altona, Werribee, Hotties. Then you got the new one at Wyndham. I don't know what that's like.
It's not that much of a run for those guys to go to Corio Bay.
I don't know. But yeah, you got Corio Bay, the one just above Corio Bay, and then you got Queenscliff if you want to travel even further. So, but when you look at the population, I suppose they've got a big population boom over there, so they could probably do with another ramp.
The thing that the guys, without being political about it, is we've already got these boat ramps.
Yeah.
Whatever this Anthony's
Phillips Head.
All these little beach ramps.
Yeah.
That all they need is they don't need a lot of money to give them a bit of infrastructure. Some floating jetty to tie up to. Some guide poles to know where to stay in the deep water. A few rubbish bins. And a parking meter, and away we go.
And get a guy with a tractor there once every decent storm to just get rid of some of the sand.
That's the other thing too, is that the ramps get covered in seaweed and sand.
Yeah.
So there's no break walls around them.
And we're seeing that a lot of the effort has been picked up by the custodians of a lot of these boat ramps, or even people who just happen to live nearby. It's like Al at Warneet. He's manhandling himself to dig out Warneet to get it deep enough on that second ramp.
Yeah, he's done all the work himself to get this done.
Yeah.
Plus, he fills all the potholes. He puts security cameras up. He took it all on himself to do this.
And that shouldn't be the case.
But it increases his business. He's a businessman. This is what he's thought will increase his business.
And I'm sure the council probably knew that.
Yeah. Whereas in Narooma, you've got a lot of people my age, a bit older, right, in their 60s, right?
Yeah.
Not yet retired, not working full time anymore, and the local boating community says, "Can you go down and blow the ramp every second day?"
Yeah.
That happens in New South Wales. The old bloke gets down there, blows a little, rakes the weed or whatever, and he gets so much in his pocket and whatever, and the community
free launching. Well, they have free launching.
And the community, this is about what's George Costanza say. It's about society. It's about community.
So the issue with this ramp rage thing, if you haven't seen, is that the government has all this money from boat license and registration goes into a big fund, and it was proposed that all that money goes back into boating infrastructure. I haven't seen that law, so I don't want to comment whether it is or it isn't meant to go back into it. I thought it was meant to go back into consolidated revenue. I'm happy to be corrected on it. But anyway, it's a lot of money.
Up on it, so I don't know either.
Yeah, so apparently $2 or $3 million has come from that each year to go back into.
But the guys that are looking at it reckon there's about 20 million
per year
missing.
Yeah, which is a lot of money. And
so if some are right on the right, some are right at let's call it 11 million, 10
11 million,
something like that. That's a lot of money.
It is. That's a lot of money per year.
Yeah.
So we want to know, why isn't that money not being spent?
And the reason it's called ramp rage is because of the ramp rage that is caused by the frustration of fishermen at 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the morning, And coming back when it's 30 degrees and it takes you an hour and a half to get off the ramp. Little fights are starting. We know it's happening.
Yeah.
People are running into each other's trailers, not leaving notes.
Oh,
it's
and
just
the car
getting
parking.
bad.
You got
It's just
people.
getting bad.
You got people who are getting up to go to use these facilities and to use the thing that they're paid to use their boat registration for, and they're being turned off it. So, as industry people, it's really annoying because it means that people are leaving the hobby, and that's not good for obviously business.
Yeah.
But as a society, it also means that people aren't enjoying these wonderful assets of the bay and the weather we have in summer.
Yeah, because it's a lot easier for us guys that know exactly. We back down, bang, 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 we're gone. Then you get some poor
Or
old
when to go, you know, like
yeah, but some other poor old dad comes down.
Yeah.
Mum's driving the car. He hasn't taken the shot, you know,
But hasn't
and
the bums
people are
in.
losing their rag. And
it's just ridiculous.
you know, it's Dad should be able to use number 8 ramp
Yeah.
further up. Well, there you go. Even Carrum, maybe there could be more ramps at Carrum.
I always wondered, like, you look at Carrum, and every time you're at Carrum boat ramp, you always look across the other side, and you see you wonder, is it going to be sunk today, that little boat, or not? And you look at the pylons, you wonder, who the hell puts their boats there? And you think, why aren't we doing anything on that side of the river? No, that
I
all
don't know.
belongs to parks.
Does it?
Yeah, it's flood or Melbourne water. It's floodplain or it's wetland. Sorry, so you're never going to get that through greenies. But certainly, if they can have floating jetties along that side, purely just as mooring, just to wait.
Yeah, just to get people off that wall.
Yeah.
Half the time you launch your boat, you turn around, and there's nowhere to park.
So you sit there and you go, well, how am I going to pick my mate up who's just taking the car back?
Or if you go over and you got
Or-
somewhere safe to sit over there, turn around, come back, he jumps on and off you go.
Yeah, or if you've launched your boat and you go, okay, I've launched my boat, now I've got to moor it, go to my car and move it. Maybe they need to have people at ramps at these times, little ramp men whose job it is to park your car for you, valets if you like.
Al will do that occasionally, you know that?
Give them your keys.
Don used to
park
do
your
it too.
car. Yeah.
And Don, you just pick up your keys when you're coming home.
How good's that? You park your car, they lock off, they give you a tag so you know it's your car. They put the keys into the office or into a lockbox or whatever. Job done. Mate, I reckon
What
that's
does
a brilliant idea.
an entrepreneur go down to Carrum, say, oh, I've got an idea, Trevor.
Yep.
And I've got a police check and I've got a safety deposit box that all the keys go into.
Yep.
I'm going to park people's cars for $10 a park.
Yeah, we park
Whatever
your
it
car, we hold your keys, you call us when you're coming, we put your boat trailer in the
As
water.
soon as I see you coming under the bridge, I'll have your trailer
Yeah.
on. Bang, in,
That
hands
is
you
a
your keys.
brilliant idea, Dave.
Shake hands and off you go. And you sit and talk to all the ramp rats out the front of the shop at Carrum.
There's a million of them down there. We had one come in today, I won't mention who.
Yeah.
And they can just be, yeah, whatever you got, manual, automatic, doesn't matter, we'll back it in.
Fully, you know, police check and
Have it insured,
police
you know.
check and an ABN insurance.
Yep, and $10 per thing. I reckon that's money for jam. There you go. So if you're on an entrepreneurial,
A lot of guys easily would pay $20 to just you back down, drive off.
especially if
you're
you're
gone.
by yourself.
Oh, by yourself.
Yeah,
Gone.
get in.
See
or
you when I come back.
Yep, and they just make sure it's. You could even have it so you wouldn't have to worry about car parking. Then you wouldn't have to worry if it's far away because you don't have to do it.
That's right.
You're
Yeah.
driving to the ramp and getting out of your car. How good is that? They can even have it so you hop in your boat, they take all your stuff off. Oh, I might be getting a bit too posh. But certainly backing you in, you can still put your bungs
What
in.
about while they take your boat and trailer away, they do your bearings for you?
See, that's another thing you can add.
You
Wash
come
everything
back,
down.
you've had your trailer, all the rollers checked,
Wash your
brakes
car.
checked, your car's been washed,
you
four,
can-
4 new sets of bearings.
But how good would it be that if you took your boat out, imagine this at Carrum. Do you remember back in the day when the worst toilets, but where the toilets are, and they got the bigs, it was like APOL fuels or whatever bins. There used to be the rubbish bins. those
No,
things.
yeah. Yep.
And people would pull up there and they'd empty all the rubbish out and then they'd be on their way. Imagine if you could bring you come back, put your boat on they have your car and boat in the trailer, in the water, sorry. You come in your boat, you put your boat back on, you're still in the boat having a good time, having a laugh. They drive up, they drive around to the front, you hop out, you go into the cafe, keep talking about how fun your day was. Meanwhile, they pack your boat up, wash it for you.
Hey.
Wash it down. And then they come out 45 and a half an hour later, whatever it is, an hour later. You give them back your keys. They sling you some cash. Away you go. VIP trailer boating.
Beautiful, mate.
People are spending that much money on trailer boats. I don't see it.
Well, time is money, mate. Time is money.
Yeah, means you go home, you put it away, and you're done. And all the guy needs to do is buy a couple of big drums of truck wash or whatever, not that CT18, but the other stuff.
So talking about mad ideas, how's the boat show, our boat show going? Still Brainiac in it?
Yeah, we've had a lot of interest in that. So
you would.
We pitched to quite a few of our compatriots in the marine industry and other dealers, wholesalers, manufacturers, all that sort of stuff. Everyone is dead set keen for it.
I can't imagine why charters wouldn't come down and advertise their charter business.
That was actually the thing that was missing at this year's Melbourne Boat Show.
Always Sharky was there. Sharky was always there.
They would have a little 3x3, some pictures of the boat, blah, blah, blah. And you'd get
a lot of that was missing. A lot of go north fishing.
Yeah. Did you see the guys from Why Not were there? Were they there?
No, I didn't go to a particular stand.
Oh, yeah. Well, good point.
No, they wouldn't, because that would be Terry.
Right, yeah, that's right.
Because that would be Terry. Yeah.
I should invite them to onto our stand this year.
Yeah.
And so at the Melbourne Boat Show, I remember you'd always see people from caravan parks. So the big one was East Gippsland Shire Council used to okay, let's all put in a few bucks and get like a 6x3 metre stand, and we'll have Trevor from Blue Water Marine who does boat storage there. They'll have a couple of caravan parks, and they might have the Shire Council have a little thing there. And you come along and go, oh, this is a grouse-looking area. They have a big map of Gippsland, and it'll go here. It was grouse. None of that was there.
No, I reckon there was more of that at the Mount Gambier show. A little country show.
I agree. Yeah.
Remember, you went inside, there was a guy. There's this guy, right? And I don't know how to find it. There's an app, and he's gone and spent his time looking at all the weirdest little tourism type things.
Roadside attractions.
And he's put it in a hard copy book for those who want to book, a coffee table book. Otherwise, you can download it, and it's an app. So when you're in Mount Gambier, you press it, and little blue dots come up. And they're all little destinations to go to look at that will blow your mind if you go and have a look at them.
Interestingly, it's called Free Something Australia. Remember, because everything you can do on this app or book are free things. They're things
That's
you can
right.
look at.
Yeah.
But it's not for free.
No, but it wasn't a lot of dollars.
It was like $5 or something.
Yeah.
But he spent his entire show going, "Oh yeah, it's great. That'd be $5." And they go, "But."
Well, that's like free range eggs.
You go.
I grabbed. I was grouse on my way home from fishing. I got 9 dozen range eggs. How'd you get them? They were for free. There was range eggs for free.
I feel like an idiot. I've been paying for my eggs for years.
No, they're free. They're these eggs called range eggs.
Why do they follow me out of the shop every time I get them?
It's awesome.
So there's some interesting food for thought stuff. I don't know.
Food for thought. Hey.
Oh, good one. If any entrepreneurs out there are thinking about it, but we'd love to hear what your views are on any of these sort of hot topic items. I'm sure they're all going to be discussed again later on Paul's show, the live well, which starts at 8:30.
We close, are we? Oh, it's 8:06. We've gone over time.
We better. So we'll get quickly on to the competition. So of course our competition's still running. We're drawing it next week. It's for the Fusion stereo panel, which is an AM/FM USB Bluetooth stereo system with speakers built in, so you mount this into your boat. You don't have to worry about running speakers or a head unit. It's all in there, ready to go.
4 screws, done.
Yep, easy peasy. It's worth about $500 or $469 or something like that. To enter this competition, all you need to do is go to the Facebook page, and you'll see it on the front page. You got to click like, and you got to tag a friend, and you'll go in the competition to win this. It's worth a lot of money, so you may as well do it. Taking a hit on it, I suppose. But yeah. It's a good system from our friends at Fusion. But anyway, Dave, we should probably wrap it up there.
And again, just a reminder to those people, this show is your show. The more you contribute to this show, the more you'll want to watch it because it'll be about you. Tell your friends about it. Please send us messages of what you want to see. Or as Jess did last week, send in a video that you think's funny to do with the boating or fishing industry.
And if you have any comments or questions or suggestions that we didn't address on tonight's show, you can hit us up on the comment section below or at our email, which is info@moosemarine.com.au, or over on our Facebook page, which is simply just Moose Marine.
So I'm down here on Mondays, 9 till 3.
I'm here every
and
other
he's
day.
here every other day.
Anyway, that's been us from Splash TV. Thanks very much for watching. Thanks, Dave.
No worries, man. Good to see
show
you again.
again.
Yep.
And we'll leave you with there. Have a good night, everyone. We'll see you later.
Ciao. Bye.